There's a dog in here!
So there's an AirTag following us this whole time. Your current location can be seen by the owner of the AirTag.
Somebody just pulled up right next to the car.
There's a moment every stealth camper dreads. That split second when the silence breaks and your heart stops. Sometimes it's footsteps in the dark, sometimes it's a face at the window, and sometimes you wake up to find you were never alone at all. Because when you bed down in places most people avoid, you never really know who or what might be watching. Tonight, we look at the 7 most disturbing stealth camping encounters caught on camera, real moments when campers came face to face with the one thing they never saw coming. In September 2025, YouTuber Sort of Interesting set out for what was supposed to be a simple solo stealth camp in his bivvie bag, hidden among the ferns and long grass. He had been doing this a lot lately, 3 nights in the bivvie in just 8 days. Maybe that regularity made him too comfortable, too relaxed, because what happened that night would become the scariest encounter of his camping life. From the start, things felt off. The cover was low, barely 2 feet of grass to hide behind. There were more people around than he expected, and the sound of chainsaws echoed across the valley. He had to keep a low profile, staying quiet, unable to film the content he had planned. He set up his bivvie, laid out his poncho as a ground sheet, and waited for darkness to fall. As night came, he settled into his sleeping bag. The bivvie felt cozy, safe. He was so low to the ground he felt invisible. A light drizzle started falling, tapping gently against the fabric. Everything seemed peaceful.
But it's just so low to the ground, I suddenly feel like I'm invisible again, and I absolutely love this. As many of you know if you've watched my other videos, just so cozy, and suddenly you just something as simple and low profile as this, you feel like you're inside a lot more than when you're lying on top of it. Plane going overhead? At least I hope that's what it is. Ooh. I don't know if you can tell, my friends, but it's actually very slightly drizzling. I put the camera near the bivvy top. Maybe you can't quite hear that. It's really fine drizzle, but there's something really pleasant about it from inside the bivvy, at least. I swear there's been like a firefly. I'm gonna shut up. I can hear... I think I can hear footsteps. I can't... I am keeping an extreme low profile right now. I think that the laser was coming from the far side of the trees, but I'm not 100%. I don't think it was actually aimed at me. I think it was just shining a laser for the sake of it. But it's certainly woken me up a little bit.
He tried to stay calm. It had been quiet for about 10 minutes. Maybe it was nothing. Maybe they were gone. Then suddenly, figures, right there, at his bivvy. And then, something moved inside the tent. Something was in there with him.
There's a dog in here!
Here's that footage slowed down because I got such a poor quality view of the situation, as I basically went from asleep to the most awake I've ever been in my life in the space of 1 second. When they were running away, I think it was a phone light rather than a proper flashlight of any kind. And I don't know if those lasers are one single tool or some sort of surveillance kit or something, I don't know. But I'm sure after I shouted "there's a dog in here," which was the only thing I could think of in the heat of the moment, I'm sure you can hear a little exclamation from them, just a little "Ruh," because I felt that it was immediate danger. I've practically entirely stopped breathing at moments.
Once he found his boots, he tore down camp in less than 2 minutes and got out of there as fast as he could.
Once I'd found my boots, I felt a little safer, but I immediately started to break down the campsite. One of the benefits of such a simple setup is that it took me literally less than 2 minutes to have everything shoved in my backpack and for me to be getting out of there.
If he hadn't, he might have found out whether those silhouettes were just passing through, or counting how many seconds it would take before someone stopped being able to run. In November 2022, YouTuber Brendan Explores set out for a solo stealth camping trip in the remote Shropshire Hills of England. What was supposed to be a peaceful night testing his new heater in freezing temperatures quickly turned into something far more unsettling. After parking his car at Bury Ditches, an ancient Iron Age hill fort on the edge of Bishop's Castle, Brendan settled in for the night. The location was isolated, the other vehicles had left, and he was completely alone in the darkness. As night fell, Brendan reflected on the vulnerability of sleeping alone in such a remote location, acknowledging that it's not the safest of feelings and that you never know what could happen when you're out here by yourself.
It's going to keep me warm, fingers crossed. I've left a little bit of room at the back of the car to be able to reverse and adjust the car to be able to get out of any tricky situations. If I get any trouble tonight, which fingers crossed I won't, I can at least reverse out if someone tries to block me in and get out. You never know what could happen, especially in a place like this when you're alone. It's not the safest of feelings, but once I get bed down for the night, once I turn the lights off, I'll feel a lot safer then.
Somebody just pulled up right next to the car. It's got midnight. I think there's 2 people shagging in the car next to me. Oh, it's gonna be a long night. They've gone. Took them a long time to do the business. Best part of an hour they were parked there for. Gone 2 o'clock in the morning. On a school night as well, guys. I thought naughty playtime for these doggers was at weekends. I might, if I'm lucky, be able to get some sleep now tonight. If you don't hear from me, I'll see you in the morning.
But the night was far from over. Just as the mysterious visitors finally departed, a violent storm began rolling in across the hills. Flashes of lightning illuminated the inside of his car as thunder cracked overhead. The rain hammered against the windows while Brendan lay trapped inside, wondering if the isolated countryside was prone to flooding and whether he'd be able to escape if things got worse.
There's the thunder. My God. I mean, don't get me wrong, it sounds cool, but I want to go sleep. I hope Bishop's Castle isn't prone to flooding. I might as well give you an update on the heater underneath the bed. So, about 3 hours ago, just before midnight, I turned the heater off. I wasn't going to keep it on all night. If I didn't have this double sleeping bag folded over with the blanket in between, and then I would be cold. Crikey. I'm going to try and ride out this storm. I hope it doesn't get much worse than this. I'll bring you back if lightning starts hitting the car. Fingers crossed that's not the case.
To this day, it remains unknown who those late-night visitors were or why they chose to park so close to his car in such a remote location. But one question still remains. What if they hadn't just been passing through? In an isolated hill 40 miles from the nearest town with no one around to hear him, Brendan was completely vulnerable. Had those strangers decided to investigate the occupied car beside them, he would have been face to face with whoever or whatever had found him in the darkness with nowhere to run. In July 2025, YouTuber Kayla and her sister Mari decided to go on a stealth camping road trip from San Antonio to Austin, Texas, parking their van on a city street to sleep for the night. What started as a fun adventure exploring the Austin nightlife would soon turn into one of the most anxiety-inducing nights of their lives. After a long day of driving, the two sisters finally settled into their van for the night, exhausted from exploring downtown Austin on electric scooters and grabbing late-night tacos. The streets were quiet, the van was cozy, and sleep came easily. But in the darkest hours, everything changed. At 3 a.m., she discovered something horrifying.
Did you get another alert? Another one?
I got another one.
No way.
Yes, it keeps saying first seen at 6:20.
So there's an AirTag following us this whole time. Your current location can be seen by the owner of the AirTag. I don't know if you guys can
But
see
how?
it.
We was
But how
on
is
the
it?
road.
We were on the road on the
That's
way
what I'm
here,
saying.
and now there's an AirTag following us.
The sisters sat in stunned silence, realizing that someone, or something, had been following their every move across the city. They had been on the road for hours. They had stopped at gas stations, explored downtown, eaten at restaurants, and the entire time, someone knew exactly where they were. Panic set in immediately. Kayla's anxiety spiked as the terrifying possibilities raced through her mind. Who had planted the tracker? How long had they been watched? Were they in danger right now, parked alone on a dark city street in the middle of the night?
Should I call police? I think I should call police because if there's somebody following us, then I'm gonna have to call police,
And
right?
where is it? We have to find it too.
I'm gonna have to call Dad. Hello? Yeah, I have a problem. So there's a alert that came to our phone, well, Mari's phone, and it says something about like an AirTag, and it's been following us since 6 o'clock, but we haven't been home and we've been on the road. I don't know what to do. Should I call the police? I'm kind of freaking out, having anxiety. Like, what should I do?
Put that in there.
You put that in there?
Yeah, because you
I
guys
didn't say
go places
nothing.
and go far. I want to make sure that guys are safe. You know, I don't like to share your location anyway. So, try to sneak it through, but well, I guess you can't sneak it through these days.
No, because they gave us an alert, and I thought a man was following us around. I'm literally parked. It's like 3 a.m. Why would you do that?
What he revealed next left them in complete shock. He had secretly placed the AirTag in their vehicle to keep track of them during their travels. The relief was immediate, but the terror of those moments remained.
It worked, and it freaked us out at 3 a.m. My anxiety's through the roof, but thank you for that. Thank you.
All right.
Good night.
Adios.
Comes to find out, our dad put the AirTag into our car. I'm tired and I want to go back to bed. Wait a minute, where do you think he put it at?
I don't know. Where could you?
I'll just call him tomorrow to see where it's at.
Yeah. Probably under the car.
Oh God, Dad, still here. We're gonna go back to bed. Good night.
To this day, it remains one of the most heart-stopping false alarms ever captured on camera during a stealth camping trip. But one question remains. What if it hadn't been their father? Parked alone on an unfamiliar street at 3 a.m., miles from home, with no one around to help, Kayla and Mari would have been completely defenseless. Had that AirTag belonged to a stranger with darker intentions, they might never have made it to that Austin breakfast the next morning. In December 2025, van life travelers Charlene and her partner set out for what should have been a peaceful evening in the French countryside, a hilltop spot with a fire pit, surrounded by forest, completely alone. What started as an idyllic winter escape turned into a nightmare that sent them fleeing into the night at 1 a.m., hearts pounding, with no idea where they were going. The day had begun beautifully. They found the perfect spot, a hilltop clearing with benches and a fire pit, isolated and serene. But the hill was too sloped, the van tilting at an uncomfortable angle. Reluctantly, they packed up and drove down the mountain, searching for somewhere flat to park for the night. They stopped at McDonald's for a quick meal, planning their next adventure across Europe, unaware of what the night would bring. The parking spot they chose looked normal, quiet, ordinary, just another place to rest. But then something changed.
We're back on the road because we couldn't sleep where we were. Basically, there were a lot of people outside our van, and
we didn't feel safe there, so we had to leave. We were asleep and we heard a lot of noise coming from outside. We think that there were people having a laugh, you know, and a chat, but it turned out to be a nightmare for us. We're very tired right now.
Just basically these, I thought they were just having fun because I could hear like music in a car, but there were some like a few meters away at least, and then I heard like voices outside the van, so they came up to the van and started hitting. I'm sure I heard one like on the bonnet.
Yes, and me and Holly were...
Yeah, Holly started barking.
Yeah. We were in a complete shock. Even
Yes,
now, we're still a bit... We've been driving for like 15 minutes without any maps.
Yeah, just driving straight.
We're so scared that they were going to follow us. That's what I thought, to be honest.
No, I don't think so. They went back in the car. Just
Yeah.
a bunch of idiots, I think. First they were banging on the van at the front, and that's what kind of woke me up, and then I think there were more than one. Some were banging on the side as well.
Yeah, but the ones on the side were really loud.
Yeah.
That me and Holly jumped.
Well, at first I thought it was someone like trying to get into the van, but they're just kids, I think, because I think when we turned on the lights, they just ran into the car again. I don't know, but we're not going back there, that's for sure.
No, that's definitely not.
Within minutes, they were on the road, driving blind through unfamiliar streets with no map, no destination, just the desperate need to get away. It was 1 a.m. The parking spot had looked so normal when they arrived, a bit dark, maybe, but nothing alarming. What they discovered was far more sinister.
Yeah, that's how it is. I've got Holly here on me.
It's bloody 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. And the thing is, that park up looked normal, you know? It was okay. It was a bit dark, to be honest, but turned out to be a place where people hang out at night, basically.
Bloody idiots.
By morning, safe in a new location, the reality of how close they'd come began to sink in.
You hear things on the internet that some people are being robbed or something happened with their van, and it's very frustrating because when there are people outside your van, you know, you get that feeling of being scared. You don't know who they are, you don't know what they're doing, you don't know in what state they are in, so we were a bit worried yesterday. That's why we left that parking space.
Yeah, I think we did the good thing. We just left right away. Like at first I was gonna try and go outside and see, like that's the first instinct. Like when you hear someone like hitting your van and like it's on purpose, you want to go out and like,
Yeah.
I don't know do what really, because there were a few of them. So I think we did the right thing. We just left. As soon as they started like banging on the van, we definitely had to leave. And to be honest, like this is kind of a good reminder for us. Luckily, there's no real damage. Like we managed to woke up in a bit of a shock, but we managed to get out there okay. I just checked the van. There's no like damage at all. So again, I guess they were just like banging on it.
Looking back, they realized just how vulnerable they'd been. To this day, they'll never know what those strangers really wanted. In August 2025, YouTuber Todd Champion from Camping with Champion set out to spend the night alone in the largest cemetery in Alabama, Maple Hill Cemetery in Huntsville, home to over 80,000 graves. But it wasn't just the unalive that made this camp so unsettling. Within the cemetery sits a place the locals call the Unalive Children's Playground, where visitors have reported hearing children laughing when no one is there, seeing ghostly figures, and watching the swings move all by themselves. The playground carries a dark history. When the Spanish flu hit Huntsville in 1918, it spread fast. Within 3 weeks of the first case, over 25,000 people were sick. The streets around the cemetery were lined with horse-drawn wagons stacked with bodies. Somewhere in the cemetery, a memorial was built for those who passed, and the original playground was created to honor all the children who passed away. Not long after it was built, locals started reporting strange things, children laughing and playing on the swings late at night, even when no one was there.
I can't believe I'm staying here. I'm actually already pretty nervous. But I usually don't. I'm a pretty big skeptic, so usually these types of things don't affect me, but I'm already feeling pretty weird. That one actually scares me a little bit. I feel like what if it just jumped out at me or something? The sun is setting fast. This cemetery is so big. I've walked a long ways and I'm trying to get back to my spot before it gets completely dark. And I'm sure it's already pretty much dark inside the woods. We are almost back to the playground. The cemetery stops right here, and then at the top of the hill, sitting right above the cemetery, is the children's playground. We are back at the playground, which has a much creepier feel now that it is getting dark. I guess we'll go down here to the playground real quick. Just have a look around and then we'll go into the woods. Maybe I'll just crawl in my tent and hide for the rest of the night.
He admitted he was already nervous, and night hadn't even fully arrived yet. With 80,000 people buried just a few feet from where he lay, the weight of the place pressed down on him. Then, as he sat in the darkness, he heard voices. Flashlights appeared at the playground below. Figures were moving through the park.
There are people at the park. I can't remember if I locked my car or not. They had flashlights. They're exploring the park. I can hear the swings, so I think they're swinging on them. Here I go. I'm gonna throw this rock and see if it scares them. I think they're leaving. I think they're all gone. I threw 2 rocks and it didn't scare them, but it shut them up. Like they immediately stopped laughing and joking. I saw their flashlights going around for about 30 more seconds and then they made their way back to their car. So I might have successfully scared them off, I don't know. This is the part of the night I've been dreading the most. I'm going to explore the children's playground at night. I'm actually really scared about this. Let's get this over with. It's insane how actually scared I am right now of a playground.
Multiple people have claimed to see orbs, ghosts, and swings moving on their own at this very spot. As he stood among the swings, his heart raced like he was about to drop on a roller coaster.
Everything looks normal to me. I wish you guys could hear my heart racing right now. You would think I was about to go down the hill on a roller coaster or something like that. Okay, I did it. I explored the playground at night. Now I'm going to go up here and start cooking because I am starving. I just had a feeling like I should not turn around and look again. You know what I mean? You ever been outside late at night and you're about to get to your front door and you just had that feeling like someone's behind you? That's what it felt like. But yeah, so I didn't turn around and look. But anyways, that's going to do it for this week's video.
To this day, the Unalive Children's Playground remains one of the most famous haunted spots in Alabama. But one question remains. What if those figures Todd saw in the darkness weren't teenagers at all? What if the laughing he heard wasn't coming from the living? Alone in a cemetery of 80,000 souls, surrounded by the ghosts of children who passed over 100 years ago, Todd was completely exposed. Had he turned around one more time at that playground, he might have come face to face with something that should not have been there. In November 2025, YouTuber Lost in Wonder set out on a solo stealth camping trip to one of Ontario's most haunted spots, the ruins of the Hermitage, hidden deep in the woods near Ancaster along the Bruce Trail. What awaited her was a night of strange sounds, mysterious lights, and the feeling that something from the past never truly left. The ruins carry a dark history. William Black was a coachman who fell in love with the wrong woman, his master's niece. When he asked for her hand, he was cruelly turned away. That very night, William hung himself in the barn that once stood on these grounds. Since then, visitors have reported seeing strange shapes moving through the trees, hearing footsteps circling the ruins, and feeling an unnatural chill that has nothing to do with the wind. As darkness fell over the forest, Lost in Wonder set up her tent beside the crumbling stone walls, using the old structure to block the wind. But almost right away, something felt off.
Use this structure here as a little bit of a wind barrier. Yeah, I don't know if I should stay away from any structure, because I don't know, you know how like objects like hold on to energy and I don't know, stuff. But it is very windy and I feel that here I'm going to be a little bit more protected. Okay, this is where we're gonna spend the night. Questioning my life choices right now. Just in my tent now. When I was setting up, a couple of times I saw lights in the woods, and one time it looked like it was coming right at me, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I just got busted. I don't know if those are leaves falling or if it's starting to rain. It is definitely a little bit creepy. Like, I'm not scared, but I'm definitely alert. And when you're by yourself at night in a forest, all the noises get amplified. Every little stir, you wonder what that is.
She froze, sure she had been caught. The lights passed by on the trail, but the feeling of being watched never went away. All through the night, the noises never stopped. The wind screamed through the ruins as she lay alone in her tent, every sound getting louder in the darkness.
Like, I'm not scared, but I'm definitely alert. And when you're by yourself at night in a forest, all the noises get amplified. Every little stir, you wonder what that is. People say that they see William Black walking around holding the rope and crying. And other people say that when they look at the ruins, instead of seeing just the stones that are left, they can actually see the house as it used to be, all lit up. The was that? I just heard footsteps. But this time they sounded much closer, not farther in the path. Okay, I'm gonna try to go back to sleep. There's ice on the tent. The fabric
By morning, ice had formed on her tent, the fabric frozen stiff from the bitter cold. The ruins that had seemed so scary in the dark now stood quiet in the autumn light. But the question remains, whose footsteps circled her tent that night? Was it hikers drawn to the famous haunted site so close to Halloween? Park workers making rounds? Or was it something else? A heartbroken ghost still wandering these woods, watching, waiting, unable to move on from a love that destroyed him over 100 years ago. To this day, Lost in Wonder believes the land remembers, and after a night alone at the Hermitage, surrounded by strange lights, phantom footsteps, and the weight of William Black's sad story pressing down through the darkness, it's hard to say she's wrong. In August 2023, YouTuber English Woodsman set out for a solo bivvie bag camp in a small woodland near his home in England. What was supposed to be a quick, relaxing overnight trip before a holiday turned into one of the most terrifying nights of his camping career, so scary that he was forced to abandon camp entirely. After finding a nice spot with a tree to use as a backrest, Dan settled in to cook some spicy noodles and enjoy the evening. The sun was setting, birds were singing, and everything seemed peaceful. But as he sat there talking to the camera about his upcoming plans, something happened that made his blood run cold. Out of nowhere, he heard it. Footsteps, clear as day, right next to him. But when he looked around, no one was there.
Going to be out Friday night, but I'm going away Saturday, so I've got a bit of a drive as well, so I didn't want to be tired, and it's going to throw it down Friday night as well, and rain camping is really good. A badger. Hello? I hope I got that on camera. I really hope I did. Because if I didn't, and I'm showing this, people won't believe that.
He called out, "Hello?" into the empty woodland, but the only answer was silence. His heart started beating faster. He tried to shake it off, telling himself it was probably just an animal, but deep down, something felt very wrong. He went back to cooking, trying to distract himself, but then it happened again. The same sound, almost identical to the first time. Footsteps, close, too close, and still, no one was there.
Chili soup drink afterwards, that. So how would you do it? If you do it in the water, let's say, if I do it now and then I pour some of the water out, afterwards I waste the flavouring, don't I? So I say I'm going to pour it out and then put the flavouring on. Let me know which way you like to do it in comments. I don't know why I keep messing around with it. There's that noise again now. Hello? Hello? You got a bit of that. There's nobody here. And it sounds like someone's just walking around. I can handle it. Won't. Can you wear it? How can I use that?
Dan's nerves were shot. He tried to focus on his noodles, tried to take his mind off it, but the fear was building. He even admitted on camera that he wished he had brought a tent, something to make him feel just a little bit safer. As darkness crept in, the noises continued, a third time, then a fourth.
Turn the camera on, okay? It was just like a quick. I don't like it in here. Everything's just telling me no, honestly.
Each time the same dry, crunching sound of someone or something walking right past him. Each time, nothing visible. Each time, his fear grew worse. He sat in his bivvie bag, alone in the dark, talking to the camera just to have some sense of company. Finally, Dan couldn't take it anymore.
I can't stay here now. I want to be a wimp. I don't care if people call me a wimp in the comments, but I can't stay here. I'm too unsettled. I'm nervous. I've done camping like this a load of times. I think I'm gonna go find somewhere else to get this bivvy set up. But I'm leaving this spot.
He admitted on camera that he was scared, genuinely scared, and he didn't care if people called him a wimp in the comments. Whatever was making those sounds, he couldn't explain it, and he wasn't going to stay and find out. To this day, it remains unknown what was circling Dan's camp that night. The footage captured the sounds clearly, dry, crunching footsteps that stopped the moment he called out. Was it an animal moving through the brush, a person in camouflage watching from the shadows, or something else entirely that didn't want to be seen? Alone in that woodland with no tent, no protection, and no explanation for what he was hearing, Dan made the only choice that felt right. He ran. And honestly, who could blame him? In October 2024, YouTuber Exploring with Josh set out to stealth camp at Lake Shawnee Amusement Park in West Virginia, one of the most haunted locations in America. What was supposed to be his final ghost hunting video turned into a night he would never forget. The park sits on cursed ground. Over 3,000 Native Americans are buried beneath the rusted rides. A little boy was pulled beneath the water in a pond in the 1960s, his arms stuck in a drain pipe. A young girl was lost in a tragic accident when a truck backed into the swings. And centuries before the park existed, 3 children were taken in a brutal attack on this very land.
We are here at Lake Shawnee in West Virginia with the school bus, and today we're going to be camping right outside of the amusement rides. Stealth camping right here. We have my bus. We sleep right here, right on the lake, looking over the amusement rides. And you must be like, what the hell is Lake Shawnee, and why is there a Ferris wheel in the middle of this forest in a lake? Steve thinks I'm gonna crash into the lake, so...
Yeah, so I'm gonna bring all my stuff, and then get out of here.
Well, less weight! It's less weight on the bumps. Because we do gotta get over to as close as we can to that area. We're camping, but guys, like I said, we are camping the night at this little haunted amusement park right here.
Josh drove his school bus right up to the Ferris wheel, parking between the decaying rides and the dark water. As night fell, they began their investigation at the main entrance. Almost immediately, the equipment started responding.
We laid out some devices where the kid is reported to be. We also have the obelisk. Oh, right off the bat, it went green. That's the triangle device. Is there anyone with us right now? Again. And let me know that you're here and maybe communicate through my other device here.
But asking to communicate might have been their biggest mistake.
Is there any evil here at Lake Shawnee? Should we be worried about anyone?
No, my battery's just literally exhausted that quick.
Dude,
Honestly,
what the heck?
I want to come out here with dead
right
battery,
there.
but no, it's just going dead. It's going off.
So now I feel like someone's feeding, trying to talk to us. It says me, and I am not. Like
what? Training?
I don't. That's what I think so. So what we want to do is we want to go to where the swing was originally to talk to a little girl that here. Is that going to be okay? Can you help guide us there or follow us?
Maybe it can only once we're inside the property. Inside the park. Because once you stepped in there, it just said thank you. And
Yeah.
It said what?
It said communicate in intent, saying digital suddenly and stopped. And it said Dan. Is your name Dan? Oh, it said it just said batteries. It just said batteries. When you just change your batteries, you're looking for your batteries right now. It just says drained batteries. It said drained right before batteries. I heard it.
Then they moved to where the little girl lost her life, and that's when everything started going wrong.
Glitch out for no reason at all. These things are built to work in any weather condition. These are the most reliable cameras we can possibly have. That is not good. I've never seen this in my life. Your camera is literally frozen.
Wait, what happened?
It's not working. The music box is going off.
That's something that you never see. Dude,
Can you
that's
shut
never
that?
happened to my
Oh!
Even, look. Even let me stop recording. The picture don't change. Look. Record.
Yeah. Bro, maybe take the battery out? I don't know.
That's switched off now. It's still on.
What? Alright, you're gonna have to take the battery out.
Yo, if it's
I've
still
never seen
on with the
anything like
battery
that.
Off, that'd be weird. Okay.
Messing with the equipment.
I've never seen that.
Anyways, explorers, we just set up a little bit to talk. This is where the ride was originally when the truck backed into the little girl when the ride was swinging and she smacked into the car. But maybe she's here right now. That just went off. His thing got messed with and this music box was going off.
Can you let us know who you are? If there's any spirit here right now, please let us know who you are. Give a description of yourself.
It said portal. It just said portal. Yep, it said portal. Is there a portal here where you... Do you see the swing set here right now? You like that sound? Yeah.
So what we call it, that's a music box. And if you stand in front of it, it's gonna play that melody. You keep standing there. Okay, you like it. You can use it to communicate with us too.
Maybe it's a similar sound to the old swing ride. Maybe it had some kind of music going on.
That's a good idea.
Can you make the music box?
Whatever this thing was that was trying to communicate with them did not have good intentions, and that was about to become clear really soon.
He will touch you.
My device says he will touch you. Johnny?
It said Johnny, but I could have sworn it said my name.
Dude, this is going off like crazy now. Wow, it's saying a lot of words right now. Sometimes this thing never works as good as what it's doing. It said neck and mountain.
Stand in front of the music. Your hair.
Your hair.
Yo, didn't Chris say that it likes playing with people's hair?
Yeah.
I don't know about that. What, my hair? Who has the most hair here? I think I do.
So what's the play?
Yo! Dude, so in the beginning it said he will touch you and then your hair. So like touch your hair kinda.
Yeah.
That kinda
Alright. Everything wants to go off. Instead of touching these, can you stop and touch the REM pod? The antenna right there that I'm pointing at in the middle. She can't stay. She can't stay!
Bro,
I feel like the Native Americans is hostaging her.
Well, here's the thing, I just asked, like, why are you here? Like,
Yeah.
what keeps you here? And then she says she can't stay, which is kind of weird.
Can you explain why you can't stay?
Yeah, what do you mean by that? Can you tell us more?
Dude, I have to stop almost this. Unless we do we could just do a quick DR. A quick DR. All right, so Dave just moved the triangle away from everyone, and now I shut the music box off.
Can you let us know if we're welcome here to stay the night?
Can I ask, are you okay with me being here? Knowing obviously I'm an English guy, come over from the UK. If we are dealing with the native Indians, then are you okay with me being here? I want you to scream into that device and tell me.
Okay, interesting. Let's see what we got, guys. All right, let's give it a go here. Ready?
Yep, play that.
I have a device that will allow us to communicate with you. When you talk, we'll be able to hear you, but in order to do that, you need to get as close as you can to this device that I'm pointing at and speak as loudly and as clearly as you can. And I'm going to start this off. Who are you? Are we speaking? Are we trying to communicate with a little girl that was injured and killed you, sorry, on the swing ride? Are we speaking? Are we trying to communicate with a little girl that was injured and killed you, sorry, on the swing ride? Can you tell us why you're still here? Is there any evil here at Lake Shawnee? Can you let us know if we're welcome here to stay the night? Can I ask, are you okay with me being here? Knowing obviously I'm an English guy, come over from the UK. If we are dealing with the native Indians, then are you okay with me being here? I want you to scream into that device and tell me.
No, I'm not, is that?
I hear them scream at the end though a bit.
It's hard to
I know.
hear it.
So at the end of the recording, it sounded like you said, I hate you. Do you hate me because I'm English and for what the English did here? I want you to scream into this device now. I want you to tell me why you hate me. It was like a couple of seconds at the end, but I don't know.
Well, hang on.
Okay, let's hear it.
Before these cars go by.
So at the end of the recording, it sounded like you said, I hate you. Do you hate me because I'm English and for what the English did here? I want you to scream into this device now. I want you to tell me why you hate me.
What the
Fucking hell.
heck? Holy.
What?
Holy.
The spirits turned on Dave, talking about warfare, and then they discovered something that made everyone go silent. Dave was born in August 1983. The memorial read August 1783. Same month, 200 years apart.
Lad!
Hey, lad, he's talking British.
Watch
to you,
out,
Dave.
lad!
Yeah,
Bro,
lad.
this doesn't even ever say that. I don't even care. I believe in this till I...
Just want to know as well, it's a slang word, they call their dog lads in the British.
Okay, well, there is a dog barking. Watch out.
Warfare.
Warfare?
War. Yeah, the massacre that happened.
That did happen. Good guys?
Maybe it keeps going. Dude, that was insane. It just makes me believe even more, bro, that this is all about Dave here from the massacre. I really do believe it. I don't care.
Don't want me here. It's been screaming.
Yo, it doesn't want you here. No, it just said burden. No, this is it. Yep, they said this is where this is the memorial for them.
So I was born August 1983, and that's August 1783. A British person. I know it's like,
Yeah,
it's
well,
just really weird. It's same month and like 83.
you need an offering, a peace offering tonight, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know, I would. They don't like you, bro.
Stone of the two children that were massacred, or the people that were massacred by the native Indians. You screamed at me through this device earlier to get out, or shouted at me. I want you to do it again for me, because I'm standing with descendants of me, like, you know, scream. Stop that now, better go.
I don't know what that said. It said something. I
Yeah,
couldn't
so
make
just
that
so you
out.
know, guys, a car did go past, but right at the end there was definitely. What's the guy?
This is a car, guys.
Go through it slow. Go slow. What the?
It's not like I hate you again.
They're talking, but they're not doing, or we're not doing a good job to really bring it out. But something's going on, and we know that. We decided to leave the spirits alone and enjoy our night camping here at Lake Shawnee to truly take in the feeling Chris was so strongly preaching about being here. Well, guys, we explored and ghost hunted at the 3 most haunted spots except for this area, right? This is the area where the Ferris wheels are, where we're staying tonight. We figured, let's have a fire, let's have a camp out, let's have ghost stories, let's cook some steak, and let's just see what happens. If this is the most haunted area, will something happen to us? We have Dudley in the car.
To this day, Lake Shawnee remains one of the most actively haunted locations in America, and for Dave, the spirits made sure he knew, some places never forget. In October 2024, YouTuber Larry from Work Less Enjoy Life More set out for a solo camping trip with his 2 dogs, Mason and Marty, deep in the mountains south of Flagstaff, Arizona. The area was remote, over 7,000 feet up, barely any cell service, and surrounded by a forest that had burned years ago, but was slowly growing back. The perfect place to disconnect from the world. But that night, something in the woods would make sure he never felt fully alone. Larry arrived just before sunset and quickly got to work setting up camp. He hated arriving after dark. It made everything harder. The temperature was already dropping fast, heading into the mid-40s, and he needed to get a fire going before the cold really set in.
I'm so glad we got here before dark. It's like the worst thing to get to a camp spot after dark. At least in my opinion. I just can't see hardly at night, so just makes it more difficult. Get the propane turned on. Getting dark pretty quick. Gotta hurry up and get a fire made. The temperature here in the desert, well, this is like high desert. Temperature is going to drop as soon as that sun goes down.
As night fell, he cooked a cowboy ribeye steak over his little portable stove, enjoying the crackle of the fire and the quiet of the forest. Everything seemed peaceful, but then, out in the darkness beyond the firelight, he heard it, a sound he couldn't explain.
Probably just a stick, though. Like a branch falling out of a tree or something. There's been times where I'm out here, or not out here, but in the woods, and you know, you just hear something you can't explain, and
He tried to tell himself it was just a stick, a branch falling from a tree, something normal, but the feeling wouldn't go away. He sat by the fire, catching himself just listening, waiting. His anxiety was building with every passing minute.
I catch myself just sitting here listening. Part of me just wants it to be a cow or a coyote or something. Like I just want to see something that I could know that it was it, just so I can just drop it. Like I'm trying to sit up. The dogs are fighting.
Larry sat there, fire crackling, cold creeping in, trying to convince himself it was nothing. But deep down, that primal part of his brain, the part that kept our ancestors alive, was screaming that something was out there, watching from the trees. He made it through the night, slept about 9 hours, he said, but the unease never fully left. To this day, it remains unknown what was moving through that burned-out forest that night. Was it just wildlife passing through, a curious animal drawn by the smell of cooking meat? Or was it something else, something that didn't want to be seen? Alone in the mountains with barely 1 bar of cell service, miles from help, Larry and his dogs were completely exposed. Had whatever was circling his camp decided to come closer, there would have been nothing between them but firelight and darkness. In December 2021, van life YouTuber Trent the Traveler set out for a casual solo camping night in a remote national forest. What started as a boring evening cooking dinner by the fire turned into a night that would reveal his most terrifying van life experience. The sun was setting fast as Trent gathered firewood, joking with his camera about the growing darkness. But as he wandered deeper into the woods, he discovered something that made his blood run cold.
Okay, that looks weird. Okay, that's not creepy at all. Why is there a random recliner in the middle of the woods? Okay, there was just a weird humming that I heard.
Back at his van, fire crackling, he tried to shake off the unease, but at the time, he couldn't have known what awaited him just hours later.
Ask me, do I ever get spooked or creeped out when I'm camping by myself in the middle of nowhere like this? And the answer to that is abso-freaking-lutely.
Then he shared the story that still haunts him. Weeks earlier, at an isolated hot spring in the Nevada desert, something had happened that made him fear for his life.
There was actually one instance where I was like fearing for my life. I was in the middle of the desert of Nevada at this hot spring, and the nearest town was like an hour and a half away, and I had this hot spring all to myself. It was in the middle of the desert, surrounded by snow-capped mountains, and it was just a beautiful, beautiful landscape. And I had that place to myself for like a week, and I stayed there day and night, just hanging out at the hot spring. During the day, I mean, it was awesome, it was beautiful, but at night, it was like weirdly spooky, because you would think, you know, a desert's really not that spooky because it's a freaking desert. But I don't know, man, at night it was just pitch black except for the stars in the sky. I don't remember the moon being out at all, so when you stepped outside, you could see the silhouette of the mountains and the stars, but you couldn't see in front of you. You couldn't see your hands, like it was that dark outside. But there was one particular night where I had shut up my van and I'm getting ready for bed. I'm all cozy in my bed, it's kind of chilly, and it's all quiet, and I'm just about to go to sleep. And then all of a sudden, I hear something rustling and tussling right outside my van.
The hot spring was an hour and a half from the nearest town. He'd had it to himself for nearly a week. During the day, it was paradise. But at night, something changed.
Weirdly spooky, because you would think, you know, a desert's really not that spooky because it's a freaking desert. But I don't know, man, at night it was just pitch black except for the stars in the sky. I don't remember the moon being out at all, so when you stepped outside, you could see the silhouette of the mountains and the stars, but you couldn't see in front of you. You couldn't see your hands, like it was that dark outside. And then all of a sudden, I hear something rustling and tussling right outside my van.
His mind raced to the worst possible scenario, and then the sound moved, circling his van in the darkness.
And I hear it, whatever it is, I hear it circling around my van. Like literally rustling and tussling stops. And it was like a horror movie. It was like, okay, something's about to happen. I don't know what it is, but I'm on edge. I'm not ready for it. Whatever it is, something's about to happen, and I'm freaking spooked. And it stays quiet for a second.
He realized that whatever was outside hadn't walked away, and he couldn't see out, but they could see in.
I thought, you know, what if they're staring at me through the freaking windows, and I have no idea? Because if you look through this window right here, so if you look through this window right here that's behind me, as you can tell, you can't see out at night, but people outside can see in at night, which is really freaking creepy. And I kept imagining a face just pressing up against the window.
The silence stretched on, his breath caught, and then, cutting through the darkness.
And then all of a sudden, there was a freaking donkey outside my van, literally right outside where my bed was, just hee-hawing. I could have sworn I just heard something outside. Millie, can you go check on that for me, please? Okay, we're just gonna pretend like that didn't happen. You know, as long as it doesn't happen again. Whoever's out there, I'm making dinner if you want any.
And then, without warning, something no one could explain.
Oh, I don't know what just happened, but the camera just fell. Okay, is it freaking haunted or something here? Whatever, I don't care.
To this day, Trent still camps alone in remote places, but he'll never forget that night in Nevada. The circling footsteps, the suffocating silence, the terror of not knowing what was watching from the other side of the glass. Because when you're alone in the wilderness, even the most innocent explanation can feel like the end of the world. And sometimes, what circles your camp in the darkness isn't innocent at all. One day, Dawson Toller, well known for his frequent urban exploration adventures, decided it was a good idea to explore Elkmont, an abandoned Appalachian ghost town hidden in the Smoky Mountains near Gatlinburg, Tennessee. He went there searching for signs of the paranormal, but he definitely wasn't prepared for what he found.
Here we are, guys. We're in Elkmont and we're heading to the first cabin. I'm super creeped out. It is just an entire town, completely empty. And the first spot that we're gonna go to is gonna be number 7. 7 and 5 are some of the oldest ones here. So I figured we would start out at one of the oldest ones and then move on from there. There is a freaky ass vibe. And I don't know if that's just because it's dark out and I'm alone, or if it's because there's ghosts, but I'm ready to find out. Here's 5. Let's go into 5 and give it a shot. We brought minimum equipment. It is literally just a voice recorder. We brought the spirit box and we brought a REM pod. Let's do the polite thing. Can I come in? Let's give a good scope out. Oh, I didn't even realize that number 5 was the one that had the really cool backyard patio thing. I don't know if that was a trick of the light, but I'm not kidding. I swear I saw something. I mean, let me tell you, like, I'm allowed to be here, but it's scary at the same time because, like, if a real person comes, that's probably going to be more scarier than if a ghost comes. But if there's anybody in here, people probably don't come and ask you guys very many questions. But I have a device right there on your fireplace, and if you walk up to it, it just lights up blue, and it lets me know that you're here with me. So if you would like to do that, it'd be very much appreciated. And if there's anybody with me, because guys, I've been speaking to some people that have abilities and there's been a feeling that I've been feeling, and they sort of confirmed it, and these are people that I trust, that there's something sort of protecting me, but the idea is that it's not letting me put my energy out there to communicate. So if you're here, if you came with me, I want to ask you to please step aside. You could still protect me, but step aside and let me try to have communication. And then afterwards, we can have our conversation, but right now I want to speak to the spirits here. So if you're here, please do me the favor. Step aside. Let me do my thing. Please. Did you used to live here? In this village? This little town before the government kicked you out? Don't worry, I'm not here with the government. I don't like them just as much as you. Super sketchy, guys. I mean, let me tell you, like, I'm allowed to be here, but it's scary at the same time because, like, if a real person comes, that's probably going to be more scarier than if a ghost comes. But if there's anybody in here, people probably don't come and ask you guys very many questions. But I have a device right there on your fireplace, and if you walk up to it, it just lights up blue, and it lets me know that you're here with me. So if you would like to do that, it'd be very much appreciated. And if there's anybody with me, because guys, I've been speaking to some people that have abilities, and there's been a feeling that I've been feeling, and they sort of confirmed it, and these are people that I trust, that there's something sort of protecting me, but the idea is that it's not letting me put my energy out there to communicate. So if you're here, if you came with me, I want to ask you to please step aside. You could still protect me, but step aside and let me try to have communication. And then afterwards, we can have our conversation, but right now I want to speak to the spirits here. So if you're here, please do me the favor. Step aside. Let me do my thing. Please. Did you used to live here? In this village? This little town before the government kicked you out? Don't worry, I'm not here with the government. I don't like them just as much as you. Could you give me a knock on the wall or something?
At first, everything seemed calm, until he boldly told the spirit he believes protects him to step aside. That wasn't the smartest move. Moments later, things started happening that immediately put him on edge.
I heard 2 noises. I highly doubt you guys will hear them, but they came from outside. And we are in the middle of the woods, but it freaked me out enough to not stay in the same place for a long enough time because it didn't come from inside here. So let's go ahead and move on to another spot and see if there's anybody that wants to talk to us. I just about fell down the stairs, that's what that was. We're gonna walk down this way, closer to where my car is. Another thing we have to worry about, genuinely, are bears. I don't want to speak it into existence, but it's definitely a possibility. We're gonna walk into this one because this is the one I just heard a scrape. Anyways, this is the one that I felt like was familiar. So, I mean, I guess we should go into it, because why would I get that feeling?
As he set up his sensor equipment and announced his presence to whatever might be listening, something responded, something that made his nerves spike instantly.
If there's anybody in this house, I have a thing on the floor there. If you just walk up to it and touch it, it'll go off. And it won't hurt you. It's just to let you know that I'm here, or that you're here with me. Maybe, oh, that was a bat. Why do I keep going to places with bats? This is like the 20th place that I've been to with bats. Hopefully it won't come in here though. Hopefully it just flew outside. But that's sketchy. I do not want to deal with that right now. Maybe if you don't want me inside your house, you can just shut one of your doors and I'll get the picture and I'll leave you alone. But for now, I'd like to have a conversation. And I'm gonna pull out this voice recorder. So guys, this is just, I'm freaking myself out. That was definitely me, but I got scared. If there's anybody in Elkmont, Daisy Town with me, could you please speak into that red light on the floor and just say hello? My name is Dawson. Could you tell me your name?
He placed a recorder on the floor, trying to communicate with any spirits nearby. Thankfully for him, nothing answered. After checking a few more abandoned houses and finding no further activity, Dawson decided he'd tempted fate enough for one night and headed back to the city. In June 2024, YouTuber Exploring with Angelo returned to a forest he had investigated days earlier, a place locals claimed had become a gathering spot for mysterious groups slipping in and out at night. While walking deeper into the woods, he couldn't shake the chilling feeling that something was following him between the trees, a presence too quiet to see, but impossible to ignore. And when his spirit app suddenly warned him, he realized he might not be as alone as he thought.
At the other night. I was here with Brad that night. Fortunately, Brad could not come tonight because he was a little bit busy, but I decided to come and continue investigating this place because something really strange is going on here. So as we told you guys in the last episode, we spoke to somebody in the neighborhood and he gave us some info. They continually keep seeing people coming in and out of this place very late at night, sometimes even during the day. And they do think, or at least from what we've heard, that these people may be in fact part of a cult. Now, I remembered this after the fact, but there are ruins like somewhere down there. Obviously we can't get to them right now, but kind of look like a little house or building or whatever, and then like a silo.
Even though something felt very wrong, he still decided to set up his tent and settle in for the night, and that's when this happened.
Let's get set up here. Hopefully this is easy to do. It's supposed to be really easy. Oh wow, this is cool. I'm assuming those are the spikes that are making that noise. Oh yeah, this looks sick. Jesus. Not gonna lie, was not expecting that, but okay. Wow, that was really freaking easy. Is there anything here with me at the moment? Maybe it's my grandmother. you're here. Maybe there's something else. What the hell is that? Sounds like something's walking out there. There is a bug hitting the tent, but there's something else. That something just hit the tent. Okay, hang on. Oh, the horses. Ugh. What's that? Dude, something hit the tent on that side.
In April 2018, YouTuber Big Dill filmed an area close to a forest separated by a fence after allegedly hearing loud, humanoid-sounding screams that sounded supernatural. After the creature allegedly jumped his fence, he decided to press record, only to capture this on camera.
So I'm up at the ridge line right now, about where the fence is at, and so behind this fence over here, there's a wood line. It's about 9:48 in the night. So we just heard a scream a little bit ago. I don't know if you could see past this, but so behind this where I'm pointing right now, there's a forest back there, and that's a pretty big forest. It's a state park. So there's nothing that's back there, and it's protected, so I don't know. But we're back here, and there's this fence right here that protects my friend's yard, where we're at right now. And from that, I don't know what you'd call this, but there's a pasture right here with a bunch of trees. You can't really see them. I don't know if you can see that tree or not. You see that tree right there, that fern, right there? That's a fern, and then there's a bunch of other ferns all around. And it gets more dense as you go back. But what happens is this creature comes up against this fence, and it jumps this fence. And it was standing, we think, right in this where I'm standing right now. And my friend's inside right now, but I'm getting this footage. And did you see that? That was... Oh.
On May 26, 2010, YouTuber Ruben Mockery, real name Bradley, documented an adventure with his friends Tom, Jeremy, and Trevor. They were camping at their usual spot near a local lake when something so bizarre happened that they could only describe themselves as completely freaked out by the events that took place that day.
All right, boys, this is Camping 2010 with Trevor and Jeremy. And Tom, what's up? That I can't hardly see because it's really dark. I can't find the light on this thing, dude.
Hello.
It's just kind of, I see Trevor waving. Okay.
Here, I'll get my phone.
Let's see me get up and get the fire. Oh, that's there he is. Tom.
We're going to do some rope swing madness later, hopefully.
Man.
Is that a full moon?
Guys, what is that?
I think it is. Yeah, I think it's... night. What's what, brother?
Seriously, guys, there's something I seriously saw something over there. Dude, Tom, did you not see it?
Dude, they were sitting there for like 2
Jeremy,
seconds.
Trevor.
Dude.
It was over there.
Dude, whatever, man.
Man, dude, put some more wood on this fire. I am not going to sit here with this thing.
I'm telling you, it was there for like 2 seconds. Dude, it was probably
over there. Yes, right over there where you're shining the light, in that area.
Over there.
Yes, there was, Jeremy, but Tom and I both saw it, dude.
It was probably a squirrel. It was nuts. I don't know, man. It's not a squirrel. What would you say it was a squirrel? Okay.
Okay.
A woodland creature.
Okay, what squirrel would look like that, Tom?
It's an animal. Okay, we're in the woods. Go figure.
Hey, Tom, guys.
What? Oh my God!
What is that?
Oh my!
That's it. That's it. Oh my gosh. Oh.
What is it?
I don't know.
Oh crap! It's coming! Oh my God! Oh my!
Where's Tom at?
Where's Tom?
Where's Tom?
Tom! 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 All right, dude. We got the boat.
He came over there.
We'll come get you, dude.
Tom! Tom!
Guys, I'm over here! Are you alright?
Thank God, are you okay?
Dude, I think I lost it. I don't know. I think it's right behind me. I'm not sure. What is it, dude? What is it? I don't know.
You need to... Jump! Come on, get down here with us.
You'll have to jump, Tom. If you don't jump, this is too high.
Dude, if you don't jump, it's gonna get you. You have to jump.
It's like, oh my gosh, ah!
Huh. Come on, Tom.
Come on, swim, man.
Swim, Tom, swim. Swim.
Oh my God, did you see it?
No. No, we've not seen it.
When slowing down the video, you can barely make out something chasing them, a figure that appears to be wearing a blue shirt and khaki shorts. However, this explanation raises important questions. If it was human, why did it have red eyes? And why would someone chase an entire group of campers when clearly outnumbered? In January 2025, YouTuber D's Dark Adventures went on a camping trip along the Appalachian Trail, a place known for its many paranormal encounters. What was meant to be one of her usual trips, exploring nature and getting a better sense of her surroundings, quickly took a turn for the worse when she encountered something that could only be described as paranormal.
Hi. Hi. Yep. Yep. I can't go home. Please, I'm leaving. I'm leaving. I'm leaving. What is that?
She saw something which appeared to be a shady, humanoid figure standing on two legs. Clearly freaked out by the thing she saw, she never visited the same place again. On July 8, 2025, YouTuber Exploring with Angelo set out on a stealth camping trip in the Mabu Highlands of Canada. The area was rumored to be haunted, with multiple alleged Bigfoot sightings over the years. Despite the warnings and creepy stories, he decided to continue his trip.
Area known as the Highlands, the Mabu Highlands, and apparently there is rumored to be a Bigfoot out here, and not only that, but also possible paranormal. I don't even know. Nobody really knows for sure what is out here, but there are a couple stories about potentially a Bigfoot and maybe other paranormal. Honestly, this trip has been a once in a lifetime. It's been pretty freaking awesome, and really enjoyed spending time with my friends and experiencing tons of new things, new places that I haven't done before, so that was cool. I really enjoyed the icebergs. That was one of my favorite spots for heard like a car horn or something, which is weird because I don't hear a car. It didn't sound that far. I figured I'd just check, might as well. I'd like to know if somebody's coming through. It'd be oh, what the heck is that? Something there, but I don't have my flashlight, so I can't tell what it is. What is that? Is it a deer? Or it could be like a bobcat, actually. Hang on. I don't see anything else. Yeah, I definitely gotta grab my rifle soon, just in case. I wanna know what that is. I'm not gonna get too close, but I wanna get a little closer. I wish I had my flashlight on me so I can actually see what the heck that was.
After spotting something staring directly into his camera, its eyes glowing, Angelo was already visibly shaken. But when he turned around, he reportedly heard a strange honking coming from the other direction.
Okay, I literally just heard honking down that way now. Wait. How's that? That doesn't make any sense. I heard it down there. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do the 3 knock thing to see if something responds, because I mean that's what Bigfoot is supposed to do, right? So we'll try that. First I might as well get the tent ready before I'm too tired to actually even bother.
After receiving no response, whatever was out there clearly didn't want him in its territory, so he decided to try several methods to get its attention. One of them was the loudest, and it would soon prove to be one of the worst decisions he ever made.
Let's try it with the rocks, I guess, for now. I was gonna start building a fire pit, but to be honest, I don't really have enough rocks available. So, all right, Bigfoot, if you're out here, show yourself. Okay, that's... I mean, you never know, an area like this, it would only make sense to potentially have something out here. Okay, that was something. That was legit 3 knocks. Down in that direction. Let's do it again. There it is again. I don't know if that's just naturally happening or if something is actively doing that out here. Bigfoot? I mean, someone was knocking out here repeatedly, so thought I heard movement back there.
However, just as he decided to head back to his campsite, whatever had been lurking behind the trees the entire time was watching him once again.
Hearing something. It almost sounds like something mumbling down off in that direction. What is going on over there? I just heard somebody call out again. What the hell is that? Literally nothing. I don't see a single thing out there. This has to be her. Okay, now I hear a plane. Okay, I don't know. I'm gonna try and go back to sleep. I fell asleep for literally 10 seconds, I think. Oh my gosh.
To this day, it remains unclear whether it was truly a Sasquatch watching him all along, or just a deer, or something else entirely. On October 27th, 2025, YouTuber Chris Baird and a friend ventured into the infamous Skinwalker's cabin, hidden deep within a remote forest. The area is completely isolated, accessible only by dirt roads, with no nearby houses or cell service, and surrounded by lakes and ponds. The cabin has a reputation for paranormal activity, and as soon as they began their investigation, Chris and his friend quickly became part of the eerie stories themselves.
Alright guys, as you can see behind me, there's a cabin sitting there. This cabin is known as the Skinwalker cabin. We are in an area of the forest that people say skinwalkers reside. A lot of weird stuff happens in this forest, and there's a lot of reason to believe that the owners know about it because they have some things behind us. I don't know if you guys have seen this yet. We were actually here about 3 months ago. Apparently this is like a little memorial shrine for protection. They try to keep this negative energy away, but if you guys only knew the stories, people who have stayed here leave reviews about this place. Terrifying things. They hear doors slamming at nighttime. They actually have reports of people breaking into the cabin, and they go check and there's nobody here. Do you guys want us to come back here? And
to be fair, someone literally was outside the cabin.
We
caught
caught
it
them
on camera.
We caught a picture of somebody literally outside, down at the bottom of the driveway. Don't know.
What the f is that? That was a tree knock.
That was a growl. Hello? You guys always just mad at me when I do this, but
oh my god.
That was a whistleback.
Yeah.
That's so crazy. Dude, if I had a Big Mac right now, I don't think I'd ever complain again.
Hello?
What do we keep hearing? What'd you see?
I don't know, bro. I'm just seeing shadows. Maybe I'm just freaking out over my own shadow.
Oh.
Hello? All right, Chris, come on. We got this. We're big and strong.
Sure?
and-
We don't have to. We can just stay here.
No, we can do it.
We're in a trail right now, guys. Look at us. See? We're exploring trails.
After seeing figures and shadows moving through the forest, they thought it couldn't get worse. Little did they know this was only the beginning of multiple paranormal events taking place that night.
Chris, that's a tree knock. There's a stick right there. Do it back.
I was gonna start clapping. All right, guys, we can do that too. Trying to poke your eye out. Came from the water.
Okay. Yeah.
We gotta find the water. Can you guys make this sound? I just heard you do it. Can you do it again? I'm breaking the fucking stick.
Oh my God!
After hearing something outside that seemed to mimic their own voices, they hurried into the cabin, desperate for shelter from whatever prowled in the darkness, something intent on warning them away from its territory. But instead of safety within, they found something far more sinister waiting for them.
Where did you guys come from? Like, who summoned you? How did you get here? Okay.
Okay, so when were you summoned? Can you at least tell us that?
Yeah.
What the
What's the rocking chair?
Oh my God!
The chair's moving.
Chris, shut the
What the going on right now?
Dude, I'm like frozen right now. I legit can't move right now.
I'm like getting dragged upstairs.
Chris?
Don't look at me, you just said. Where are you?
On October 11th, 2023, YouTuber Joey CTV decided to try Randonautica again for the first time in months. And after several failed pinpoints, it finally led him to a dark, secluded park tucked behind the tree line.
Toyota dealership that I filmed before. Figured I'd start somewhere different. And okay, let's generate. Now, my intention that I did think of was a spooky place, just so you know. So that's my intention. Start journey. Open in Google Maps. Start. Okay.
Head north toward US 92 East, Highway 17 North.
CarPlay. Alright, so we're about to embark on our journey. It's only a couple of minutes from here. So it'll be interesting where this spooky place is Randonautica is taking me to. The park is closed, but the gate's open, so let's see what we got. Alright, so this is where it took us. Yeah, it's spooky. I mean, it's spooky being in a park, but by yourself at night. Let's see, well, let me grab my flashlight. Got the green one tonight. It's pretty cool.
He walked in, talking openly to his viewers about his life, his anxieties, and the strange heaviness he felt the moment he stepped out of the car, completely unaware that something very unexpected was about to break the silence.
Like every shadow, it's waiting. Anyway, guess we'll continue on. It is a dreadfully creepy place. But again, like I said, I wanted to... Don't come near me.